back down to the surface. And as you come back down, I want you to tell me the very first thing you see or the very first impressions that you have as you come back down to the surface. Are you coming down yet?
There.
What do you see?
It's an empty town.
See an empty town?
No, doesn't seem to be anybody. It's like I'm standing in an intersection of the street, and there's just nobody there. Nobody's around.
It's just you?
Yeah.
Are there many buildings, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like, a small city. And they aren't huge buildings, but...
It's a medium-sized building.
Kind of like downtown where we live.
Okay.
But, like, looking in each direction, there's kind of just nobody. It's like nothing going on. Street lights come on, but seems like a desolate place. Seems like there were people.
Does it seem like it's been that way for very long?
Oh no.
What about you? What do you What are you like? Do you have a body?
Yeah.
Look at your feet. Are you wearing shoes?
Look like boots.
Boots? What are they made out of?
I don't know. Leather. It's black.
You wearing anything? What are you wearing?
Those pants.
Are you carrying anything in your hands?
Nah.
Or on your body?
No, just the clothes that I'm wearing.
You feel like you live far from here or close to here?
No. I don't know. This place, I mean, it doesn't, I don't know where it is, but it doesn't seem unfamiliar.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, so it's familiar. It's like you've been there before.
Yeah. Well, the feeling you kind of get when you're just in any kind of small town.
Did you feel like you've been in this town for a while, or did you just show up?
I don't know. I must have been around before. Because I remembered it when it was lively. So I could recognize that, hey, geez, this place is dead.
So it's different than before.
Nah.
What was it like before?
It was just alive. There were people around and friendly faces.
Did it seem like it'd been a long time since that happened, or did that happen real recently? What do you know?
It looks like it might have been recent. The overwhelming feeling that, it's the last day of summer and you just got left out in the cold.
Mm-hmm. So you don't know what happened?
Nah.
Do you know where you sleep? Where do you sleep at night?
I don't know. I must have somewhere. I must belong somewhere.
Yeah. Does it feel like it's very far from the city or in the city?
Must be in the city.
Yeah.
Near
Can you
the
take me
city.
to the place where you sleep or where you live? Can you show me the outside of that building? Where it is?
Yeah, I mean, it must be one of these buildings nearby.
Yeah. What do they look like?
This like 2-story buildings, or like the first floor is some kind of business, and then above the businesses, people live there.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of these brick deals with these big windows on them where the stores are, and there's all these, like painting on the windows for like sales or advertising, what have you.
Seem like modern times or past
yeah.
future?
Yeah, it's modern times. It's, the air seems different than I'm used to. It's cooler. It's like less dense.
Different than you remembered in this place before, or different than here?
Different than I remember anything before.
Yeah. Can you show me the place where you sleep?
Yeah.
Describe it from the outside first.
Can
you describe it from the outside first?
Right, so there's a store, and immediately past the store, there's just a doorway that you open, and that opens up, that goes into a stairwell.
Yeah.
You take the stairwell up, and this whole second floor seems to be the place that I live.
Okay.
It's like a studio. It's kind of just one big room, or like a loft.
Yeah. Do you feel young or old?
I feel younger, not old.
You feel male or female?
Female.
Feel healthy?
Yeah.
Does anybody live in this place with you?
It doesn't seem like it.
Show me around the inside of the apartment.
No. I mean, it's kind of a crap shack, but it appears that I'm working on something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some kind of media. I have just green screens and clothes everywhere. Of course, the dishes aren't done. And the place just looks poorly kept, but not filthy, really.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe somebody carefree lives in this place, but a few pieces of furniture and then clothes scattered about. Windows that overlook the street outside. I see this intersection.
It's still empty out there?
Yeah.
What do you get the sense that your livelihood is? What do you spend your time doing each day?
Oh man, it seems like there's some kind of media project going on, and must be, with the cameras and the green screens, there must be some kind of videos being made.
You're making videos.
Yeah.
What do you get the sense is? Are the videos about or different things, or one thing in particular, or
Maybe about different things.
Different things.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a theme going on with anything else in the place.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not like there's any political statements, at least none that are displayed out in the open.
Yeah.
That's maybe just for silly purposes, just making funny videos for the internet, or maybe it's like a thing where I'm just trying to tell people about stuff.
Do you usually cook your meals at home or eat somewhere else?
A combination of both.
If you eat somewhere else, where do you go?
Used to go to these restaurants, but now there's nobody around. They're just not there. Everything's closed.
Did something happen?
Must have. It's strange. It seems like something should be going on. It's like, if you listen real close, you can almost hear, the cars in the distance rolling down the highway.
So it's just this particular city? Don't feel like it's a widespread shutdown, absence?
Oh no, because there's this isolation happening, and I don't know if I'm able to communicate outside.
Can you communicate on the internet?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it seems like nobody's around.
Interesting.
Nobody's messaging or replying. Haven't seen any news.
Is that unusual?
Yeah. Seems like somebody would have known something. It's almost like we're just stuck in this moment.
What's that like?
I think it's perpetually dusk. Like, it's not dark, but it's like that, that civil twilight where the sky's just glowing a little bit.
Yeah. How long does it feel like it's been like this?
I don't know. It must have been a while, because I seem used to it.
Months or years?
Maybe not that long.
Days or weeks?
Days or weeks, yeah. Weeks.
Are animals around?
Nah.
Birds or anything outside?
Nah.
No animals at all?
Nah. I mean, it's like, it's almost like the time never changes. It's like everything's just stuck.
You said it's like you can hear cars in the distance?
Right, but they're not there.
Have
Can't see any.
Okay. Have you found an edge of where this seems to affect?
Not yet.
Okay. Let's go ahead and drift away from that day. Let's move forward to something important that's happening to that person. We're drifting and floating away from that scene, and we're moving forward to another day that's meaningful, where something's happening. What's happening?
Things have changed.
How so?
Maybe the whatever stoppage that was occurring seems to have eased up.
Yeah.
So things are moving and growing, and there are people. They're all there.
You say eased up. Is it still happening, or?
Yeah.
So how does that affect time?
I mean, the time goes, but it's just, the people.
Yeah.
Just, some came back, some didn't. Some moved on to different things.
Did they experience that time the same way you did?
Nah.
How did they experience it?
To them, life just went on.
Did they notice anything different with you?
They weren't paying attention.
You have any family?
I don't think so.
So no one noticed?
I mean, I try to tell people about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just shrug it off, or they just don't understand what I'm talking about. Nobody seems to have ever had that particular feeling before.
So what's special about this particular day?
I don't know, I just noticed that everyone was back. And
Is this the first day you noticed?
yeah. Maybe I didn't emerge for a while, or maybe something just passed and it took me a while to, like, come out into the world and see it.
Do you get the sense that it had already been going on before you knew?
I get the sense that maybe I caused it.
Oh. What gives you that sense?
Because it didn't happen to anyone else.
Do you know what you were doing when the event happened?
Nah.
Do you have any reason to think you're connected to the happening other than you were the only one that experienced it?
No, I mean, I don't think so. But, there's like a pretty strong reason. Like, whatever was going on, I was meant, to do.
Yeah, pretty uncanny. So whatever went on, you were meant to do. You said whatever went on, you were meant to do.
Right. Like it was almost like it was supposed to happen, or it was an effect to something I did.
So what happens when you try to talk to somebody about it?
What
happens as you come out and...
I mean, people typically just don't believe it. They can't understand. Nobody understands how you wake up and the whole world just went away.
Yeah. You don't have anybody that you can reach out to that would relate?
No, but I talk to people and they listen. The people listen. Yeah, but it's just kind of like, I don't believe that, really.
Yeah, they're not sharing the experience.
Right.
Yeah.
They just don't get it. But that's okay. Maybe this is the day that I realize that, you know what, it's not for them.
So maybe that's what's important, that you come to that realization?
Yeah. Maybe that is what's important. Like, it's just not for them.
So does that mean it's for you?
Well, I mean, shouldn't it be, really? Like, I'm the only one that even seemed to notice. It had to be.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Maybe there's a lesson to be learned in it all.
What's the lesson?
I don't know.
What do you think it might be?
I don't know, because I can lean so many ways, into it, but
maybe there's many lessons.
Maybe it's like, there does seem to be some comfort in this, this odd solitude, where it's like, nobody else is around and nothing ever changes, but, at least then, I knew I was safe.
Because there was no one else to threaten you?
Right, there's nothing there. There's nobody around, yeah.
What would normally threaten you?
I feel like maybe backlash from what I create.
What do you create?
I like to call it art.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
I just like to to tell people things. Sometimes that might be some, really profound spiritual statement. Sometimes that might be some attraction that I've discovered. Sometimes I might just be mean to people.
Yeah, so you just express yourself.
Yeah.
So for you, this must have been quite a change. Having no one there to interact with.
It was, but again, there's like this weird comfort. It feels cold and just dead out, but there's nobody around. Like, is this really bad? I don't know.
Yeah, so no pressure.
No pressure, sure.
No backlash.
No backlash.
Nothing to compare yourself to. Or be compared to.
Nothing
to compare yourself or be compared to.
No, it's just, you still remember everything that happened up until that point.
Yeah.
But, there's no new, no new threats coming in. So, it is just...
So what did you wrestle with during those alone times? What did you think about during those alone times? Or do?
I don't know if I did. I listened a lot. I always listened for something. I always expected there to be a change. And, there's nobody called. There was nobody to talk to. If I try to call somebody, there's just dead silence.
So you just listen?
Yeah, just listen and wait. And I think everything came back.
How long did it feel like it was stuck for?
I don't know, but I feel like I had to come to a realization in order for that to change.
Kind of like Groundhog's Day?
Yeah, maybe.
You described at one point you felt like it had been for days or weeks. Did it go on much longer after that, from your perspective?
No, it went on for this period of time, and the time is, it was hard to tell because it's like the light stayed the same, the sky stayed the same. So it's like time didn't really pass.
Yeah. Just from your own.
It's, like sometimes you're just kind of stuck in a moment.
So what do you think got you stuck in that moment? Was it a different kind of realization? Or lack of realization?
No, I just feel like maybe I got some criticism, or I did something that just didn't go the way that I needed it to go. And, so as a countermeasure, I think I detract, I push away from everything.
Mm.
And then maybe in doing that, I effectively just shut it off.
Mm. You disconnected so much.
Right.
Because of the criticism?
Oh, just, yeah. Any adverse reactions.
Interesting. Let's go ahead and drift away from that day. Let's go forward to another interesting day that has meaning for you, where something's happening. We're drifting and floating away from that last scene, and we're moving forward to another day that's important or that has meaning for you. What do you see?
No, I feel like I'm leaving.
Leaving the city?
Maybe moving, maybe... it seems like I'm definitely moving. Just leaving, moving on.
Yeah.
Away from there, another place. Another mindset.
Do you know where?
Nah. But I have the feeling that wherever it is, wherever I am going, it's profoundly better. Because I know what I'm looking for.
What are you looking for?
Something authentic. Nothing, nothing rich, nothing upscale. Nothing glamorous. That's not the kind of person I am.
Something down to earth.
Just something authentic. Yeah. A place where I belong to people.
Are you just searching for that, or do you have an idea where you're going to find it at this point?
Yeah, it seems like I'm just searching, but maybe know where to go. I can't put a name on the place. There's another city ahead. Maybe that's the one.
And so you're just exploring at this point?
Yeah.
What else happens?
I'm driving a lot. Driving and thinking. And I could see myself in the mirror.
What do you look like?
I don't know. A lady, darker skin, colorful hair. My eyes shine.
Is that what you notice in the mirror?
Yeah, I can see it every time I look back in the distance, and I just see my face and the lines in the road going backwards, moving away.
You're still pretty young.
Yeah, not much older than I was when the time stopped.
Like mid-20s or 30s? Or
Yeah.
mid-20s? Let's go forward. What do you find after you've been driving and searching? You find what you're looking for?
And thought so. But then again, maybe not. You find yourself somewhere in another town, in another place. A different town with different people, different stores. This time somewhere less cool.
Yeah.
Somewhere a little warmer. And these feelings, you don't really escape. It's that feeling of isolation. of just cause. Like, it doesn't ever go away.
Does it change?
Yeah, it changes.
Can you describe how it's different?
Well, you know, it's like if you get away from one problem, you're not really fixing the problem. So if there was something that was making making me feel some kind of anxiety or unease about where I was, once I got to where I was going and some time had passed, it's like, moving somewhere, moving around, just leaving that doesn't really fix the problem.
Right. So you have to still deal with your internal self, your internal landscape.
Yeah.
What did you have to look at there?
It was green.
Green? Said it was green?
Yeah, it was green. There were hills. Lots of trees and flowers. It's a beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, it's gorgeous.
You still felt isolated?
Not really. Not at all, really.
So the main thing you noticed is that even with a different landscape, you still were struggling with similar problems, just in different ways.
Right, and by this point, I've moved on and I do other things, like I'm writing a book or, it's like still creating something, but I focused my attention into other things.
Yeah.
And so, I still like to work to create the things.
To make content or...
Yeah.
What are the other things that you do now that are different?
Yeah, it seems like I'm a little older, so... I just don't seem as wild as I was when I was younger. And my clothes are maybe a little different now.
Do you have any close relationships?
Nah.
Do you know why?
I don't know, maybe that was by choice. Seems like it would have had to be. This isolation, it's not imposed on me.
Mm-hmm.
But people do talk. People try to get in touch. Then, sometimes it just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Is there a reason that you decided to cut yourself off?
No.
Does it relate to the time that you spent in that moment?
Hmm?
Does it relate to the time that you spent in that eternal moment? Or...
Yeah. But I think I think there's a lesson that I learned from that. And, that's that I didn't need anybody. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to be happy on my own.
And so you just retained that ability to stay happy on your own and chose to be alone.
Right. Well, you have spending the time, just kind of frozen in that, in that place. Just kind of learn how to cope with it. And then, when nobody else is around, and you only have yourself, you have to figure out the answers. I feel like during that period, maybe I learned something that led me. It's not that I resent other people. I don't hate anybody. I love everybody, but it's just that I learned how to love that isolation.
So it sounds like you can still give to other people, but you don't feel that need to receive interaction.
Right.
What else is important about this time in your life?
I seem more aware, in tune to everything. Just
with the environment?
With the environment, the world. I have the kind of quiet patience where you can just almost hear the flowers grow.
So you don't need to interact with humans or animals. You just interact with the environment.
Right. Interact with myself. I mean, again, there are other humans, there are animals, and...
Right.
I don't resent them. I just don't...
But you don't have an animal companion or a human companion or...
No.
Social circle.
No, because I just don't feel like I don't feel like that's something that's needed in my life.
And so you pass your time interacting with the environment, writing and creating content to help other people?
Yes.
Let's go ahead and leave that scene, and let's move forward to the last day in that life that we're looking at. And you can watch it as an observer if you want to. Now we've gone forward to the last day of your life in this lifetime we're watching. Tell me, what is happening and what do you see?
I'm just looking up at the sky.
Just outside?
Outside. And there's flowers all around, like a garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on the ground and I'm just kind of looking up at the sky.
Are you very old? You very old?
Older, yes. Older. Tired. Happy. Just so happy. You hear water. There's a fountain going.
You can hear the water.
Just grateful that I got to be here and know myself. I got to know this person. If not anybody else. And I'm not surrounded by family and friends, but I'm not upset by that either.
There's something that's wrong with your body?
No.
Is there something that causes you to pass away?
No, I don't know.
Just a decision? Is there an illness? Or...
Maybe it was just the right time.
And so you're laying there looking up at the sky. Tell me more.
You just think about all the things that made me happy. A smile. Kind of just sleep.
It's beautiful.
As I'm sleeping, everything kind of just changes this hum.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pleasant hum.
You hear it?
Yeah.
What do you feel or sense? Your body.
This vibration from the humming.
Mm-hmm.
And taking it.
Take any last breaths or have any last thoughts?
So, I was glad I got to be there.
I'm glad you got to be there and get to know that woman.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Now, whatever's happened's already happened, and you're on the other side of it. What's it like on the other side?
There's so many people.
What's that like?
Strange at first. They're strange, like they're so happy to see me.
You feel like you know them?
They must know me, because everybody's like, hey, you made it. We've been waiting for you.
Does it seem like they've been waiting a long time?
No, not really.
It's time different there.
Yeah, time seems pretty normal. And it doesn't seem like...
Still experiencing things relatively the same.
Yeah, still experiencing things.
What are the people like? Do they look like regular humans, or do they look different?
Yeah, they all look like regular humans, but yeah, it's almost like there's this party, it's like this big party where everybody's standing around talking, sipping drinks, maybe having snacks, really engaged. Everybody's happy, and it's, maybe there's some kind of ceremony that's supposed to happen.
Sounds interesting. Can you see that ceremony?
Sort of. I mean, all the people were gathered, Everybody was gathered in this place for a reason.
What's the reason? You?
Maybe waiting on me to arrive. Maybe there's this... I don't know if it was like a party specifically for me, or if this ceremony was specifically for me, or maybe it was like a graduation thing, or some kind of thing where it's like, hey, you learned the lesson.
What lesson did you learn in that lifetime?
I had to learn how to love myself and to be okay with myself.
What else?
It was important for me to do that because it's like a graduation of some sort, but it's like there's something else that I couldn't move on to until that was done.
It's like a rung on a ladder.
It's
like a rung on a ladder or a step on a staircase.
Almost as if, like, once I got to this place and everybody was waiting for me, it's like, maybe I'm looking at a promotion or something.
Promotion.
Whatever this event is for, it's, it's the next step up.
What do you feel like that woman's purpose was, but your purpose was in that lifetime? Did you serve other people? Did you serve other people in that lifetime? Usually I think of a lesson as something that we learn, and I think of our purpose as some way that we've helped others or the world. What do you feel like your purpose was?
Yeah.
It have to do with how you spent your time?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was just, I made these pieces just to, inform people, or maybe there was just some useless thing that nobody knew about, and I thought everybody should know about it.
Yeah. So your purpose was to spread information.
Right.
What do you look like? Do you look the same as you did in life after you died, or different?
Yeah. So far it is.
So far? So what's the next stage? Do you change, or what happens after you attend this graduation?
Nothing really, this party continues on, and people just kind of disperse and go back to the things that they're doing, and it's not like I'm not immediately called on for anything, but I get the vibe that that's kind of the deal, is like everybody here is just waiting for that call.
Yeah. What does that call mean?
I think when you get that call, maybe that's when you get like a reassignment.
Yeah. So you incarnate again?
Right. You get my next assignment, so to speak.
Where does the assignment come from?
Don't know.
You've been through this process before?
No, I don't remember going through it, but it doesn't seem like an alien thing at all.
Yeah. Wonderful. What else would you like to tell me about that experience? What happens when you get the call? Do you remember that?
No.
No.
Maybe it didn't have. Maybe I'm still waiting on it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't think that it's... maybe that story isn't finished yet. It's like... there's nothing that, nothing makes me believe that, like, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just like the right time has to be there.
Yeah. So you're just not able to see that right now.
Right.
Well, let's go ahead and drift away from that lifetime. Let's drift away, float away from that life.